ambition with the cutscenes is to make every single scene interesting enough in itself as something that the player would want to see. You can watch them, you get like an introduction to the level, you understand the characters a little bit more, and then you go on with the game. In a game like Hitman, where there is so much gameplay, there's so much within the game mechanics to challenge the players, the cutscenes also becomes a break between those kind of challenging gameplay moments.
Damn it! Mr. Dexter is not someone that you want to mess with.
I think cutscenes are getting better and better. They're actually much, much better at using the language of cinematography and of like movie storytelling and making compelling stories and characters. And this is just a natural evolution in games to lean on what we've learned from cinema.
We're actually treating it like a classical movie. We're trying always to have like these, really slow dolly moves and shooting from outside the doorway into the room and trying to have this like subtle treatment of it, and it actually works really well. We have like an awesome team of animators and environment artists and lighting and comping and the composers and sound designers. I mean, a lot of people are working really hard on making them.
All right, what is it worth to you? Name your price.
If they convey a sense of motivation to play the game, and we've taken a lot of care to add that to Hitman Absolution, it's all well and good to be given a task to go and you have to take out a certain target, but if you can apply an emotional reason or a really solid motivation to do that, it just makes it more enjoyable and a lot more fun to play.
Now listen to the city. If anyone mentions the girl, you know what to do. I'll call you. Oh, yeah. You do that.
We started out wanting to do motion capture and then do voice acting separately and kind of combine this as a classical way, at least for us to produce cutscenes. But we were allowed to hire real professional Hollywood actors and do the performance capture, which is basically doing motion capture, facial capture, and voice at the same time.
Mr. Travis, you know this is my prayer time.
The basics of motion capture is that we have a series of cameras placed around a room and they record optically these little markers that are placed on actors. And it triangulates the data in the space and records movement, and we cover the actors with all of these and we can tell where their arms and legs and torsos are in space. And that gets applied to the skeletons of the characters. Where performance capture comes in is similar but on a far more subtle level. We had a helmet-mounted camera and used that as reference for keyframing. If you have to marker up the face, there's a lot of micro movements that get captured, and that goes through a similar process, but it usually requires far more cameras to pick up the smaller dots and the smaller ranges of movement. Also with ours, it required a soundproof studio, which Giant had where we shot, so we could have the actors' voices synced up with their movement and just get a more believable performance out of them. That was really important to us. And then we can get usable in-game audio while they're performing.
We found him.
Okay, people, listen up. I'm giving a green light on this operation. I want 47's head on a platter in front of me ASAP!
Sir, don't you think that our priority is on reacquiring the girl right now?
No, Jade. First, we neutralize the rogue element that started this mess. He'll know where she is. Trust me, we get 47, we get the girl. We can't afford to fuck this up!
The casting was a decision that was made through a group of us. So it was myself, Tor, our game director, Tom, our PR manager, and Jamie Mortellaro, who works with Technicolor, who helped us through all of this with audio recording and setting up the mocap shoots. Some of the actors that we used, Powers Booth for Travis, Marsha Thomason, Isabel Furman, Larry Cedar, Vivica Fox.
Mary, Mother of God, we confidently undertake to rebuke the attacks of deceits of the devil.
We had 2 utility actors, we called them, on set, and they haven't been brought up a lot in the background, I think, because they're not well-known names in acting. It was Shane Stevens and Colleen Foy. Even the actors on set were just in awe of them. They were incredible, and they were couldn't have done it without them.
was quite interesting because I feel that a lot of these actors actually feel like this is like a new unexplored territory. They can play around more because it won't have their likeness, like it will just be some character they're playing. So they feel, I think they're more liberated and have more fun with it because it's never going to be, you know, this is my face on that character.
Many of them have never done performance capture before. So they would see the screen where they would see a live feed of their characters from the game. All of a sudden they were the character that was written from the script that you've been working with. So that was quite an amazing experience, not just for us, but for them as well.
Mercy! Mercy! No! Wait! Except I'm supposed to say Travis is obsessed with him.
But I have one more thought. Just a few more. Couple more arm.
Me? Okay.
Yeah, just a couple more of those.
The actors did have a lot of good suggestions and they would say, this feels like out of character, and we'd be like, that's true, and we had a lot of back and forth. So we spent quite a bit of time on working with their voices and getting a little deeper into the characters, like giving them some layers to the performances.
The physicality and the origin of it is very much on the actors' shoulders, but from that point on, the animators' involvement in it shouldn't be really sold short. They add a huge amount of emotion and of physicality and everything to the scene. I think people will pick up on the uniqueness of the characters and the strong personalities that we put into them. And I hope that you can still see through, even though we didn't use likeness of the actors, that you can still see some of their mannerisms and their takes on the villains or the heroes of the game.
You know your place. Well, I like that in the barber.
There's a convergence where the line between cutscene and gameplay is blurring, and it's a major goal for a lot of AAA games is to have it as one fluid experience and not take the user out of the gameplay and really immerse them in the story and the characters and the universe that we've created.